Excuse me, Misa called Jar Jar Binks.
So we just watched Star Wars Episode 1 about a week ago, and we're finally coming to talk about it.
It took us a whole week to process what we went through.
I guess we should both start by saying we're both Star Wars fans.
Oh, huge Star Wars fans. I grew up with Star Wars. We watched the prequels as kids.
Oh, yeah. Sadly, we grew up with these prequels. Doesn't mean we're stupid. We just grew up with them.
I could not help when I was born, guys, okay? I'm tired of those 45-year-olds saying, you didn't see Star Wars when you were a kid. At one point in our lives, we enjoyed Jar Jar Binks, but we were kids. The thing is, we grew up.
We grew up. If we look now at Jar Jar as if we look at Barney the dinosaur as an abomination and sad thing that both of us did like as children.
Let's dive into the film. It's more than just Jar Jar, obviously, so let's...
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, I challenged Sean. I said, we're going to start by just talking about what we like about the Phantom Menace. Let's get it out of the way.
Ewan McGregor, as Obi-Wan, is really good casting. That was a great decision on their part. He's a good actor. He brings a lot to the role in all three of these.
I got one.
You want one?
We'll take turns until we run out of ideas. John Williams. John Williams is back.
John Williams.
And his score is very good. I consider the Phantom Menace soundtrack to be as much a Star Wars soundtrack as any others. I listen to the music and it sounds like Star Wars.
Duel of the Fates is one of his best compositions.
Even like the Trade Federation theme, you know, bum ba bum bum ba bum bum. You know, that sounds like Star Wars to me.
Ben Burtt.
Yeah, the sound design. Very good. Well, you know, it seems like everybody they brought back, you know, continued to do good things. You know, everyone that George Lucas was like, please come back. You know, thank God they did because.
Except George Lucas himself.
Well, we're not talking about Lucas himself. We're talking about who he managed to keep on.
No, exactly.
No, Ben Burtt actually edited and did the sound design for this film. For the time, the effects are respectable. There's too much effects. But what they did with some of the locations, it looks fine. You know, it doesn't look... It's not special edition bad, where it's like, oh my God, what is this visual sore on my nice, beautiful movie.
Some shots do, some parts do, but...
Jar Jar looks terrible.
Jar Jar is terrible in so many ways. The lightsaber battle at the end of this movie, obviously with Darth Maul, and I'll get into him later. On a technical level, I understand why people have a problem with it on it not having as much emotion, and I definitely agree with that to a point, but I still enjoy it for what it is as a fun lightsaber battle. It is fun to watch.
I like the battle droids. They're kind of cool design.
They're cool design. Darth Maul. I like Darth Maul legitimately. I'll get into this a little bit more later, but he should have been the Vader, or not in the same way, but basically the Vader of this trilogy.
Ian McDiarmid, he's a really good guy. I'm glad they brought him back.
Oh, of course.
As Palpatine. Even though his character's kind of boring in this one.
I like the credits.
No, I actually don't like the opening credits. I was gonna.
No, I was saying the end credits because it's over.
Do you want to get into it now? Starting out with the opening sliding credits.
Yes, few problems already. The opening sliding credits, and I don't have it memorized like some fans do, so bear with me.
It's Phantom Menace.
Taxation and trade routes. Yeah, that's riveting. I'm going to bring this up now, and I'll probably bring this up several times in these prequels. Lucas loves to say, for those who aren't aware, that these movies are for kids. So the adults watch them shouldn't be too pissed because they're for kids. Okay, well, I remember being a young lad at the age of 6 and 7. I don't exactly remember being really into trade disputes and taxations and
space politics and
or any politics of any nature. Obviously,
it's just all wrong from the outset. It does not feel like Star Wars. It feels like some weird pretender. You know, that's
it really does.
It's the strangest thing. But you know what? You know, I'm not gonna fault it because it's just the opening credits. But then we get into the beginning of the film, and this is where I'm gonna bring them up because I need to. The New Hope. We have the Corellian Corvette going overhead. Then we have the Star Destroyer, huge battle. In Empire, we have the probe droid
awesome.
Which is a great opening to that. It's very visually interesting. In Return of the Jedi, we have the Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. Awesome.
Which is really cool. And then with Phantom Menace, we have two boring guys in robes going to solve a trade dispute.
Okay, I get that what Lucas is trying to do. I get he's trying to show what the Jedi did before, you know,
I think he's trying to
the
say,
Empire and all that
like,
stuff.
They're peacekeepers. I think that's what he's trying to show. Lucas wanted to show Jedi as being just these emotionless, you know, shells.
Yeah, was Obi-Wan like that in the original trilogy? I don't think so. He was
I mean,
wise, but not an emotionless shell. Those don't equal each other.
I think there's a difference of like controlling your emotions, like Yoda was talking about,
right.
and being walking robots. You know.
I guess we should say spoilers if you haven't seen the movies and you're watching this video.
They're like
it's Star Wars.
Very old now. Come on, this is over 17 years old.
If you haven't seen this, just go hide under a rock.
Okay.
Somewhere.
So skipping ahead a little bit.
Sure.
We're in the forest. They just landed.
We meet a sturdy, loathsome creature, an abomination on all of man and movie kind. Jar Jar Binks.
Lucas obviously wanted a character for the kids to like.
He did.
Because C-3PO takes a huge backseat in this movie, and R2.
Oh, he has like one scene. I mean, that's not even a backseat. That's a cameo.
Yeah. I mean, so our comic relief characters get shoved aside, and instead we get Jar Jar, who... I don't think Lucas understood what made 3PO and R2 good, and here I'm going to illustrate this perfectly, because I just watched A New Hope with Sean, like 2 days ago, and I was laughing, like, out loud at how funny their relationship was, because it's designed in a way that R2, the kids will laugh at all, like, the little physical R2 things that he does, like, he's kind of cutesy, so the kids like him, and they'll laugh. But the adults will laugh too because there are jokes going on and little...
There's like quips that adults can get behind and laugh at because it's also how people, you know, friends will sometimes talk to each other in a way.
So this is what, you know, you get to love these characters through their relationship, through their interactions. Jar Jar just is annoying the whole movie. That's all he does.
Jar Jar! Woo!
I can think of like 20 examples why. All he doesn't contribute anything, unlike 3PO and R2, who contribute plenty.
Does he do a single thing? He accidentally destroys some Val droids at the end of the movie, I guess?
Accidentally. And he's just, he doesn't belong. I don't want to dwell on Jar Jar because we could talk about him all day. And everything has been said. Jar Jar is a terrible character. I don't want to talk about him for the rest of this review because...
Right.
I want to get into what we actually think about this. Everybody knows this character sucks, so
he does suck.
We don't need to illustrate it.
If you are someone who likes him, that's fine. Go ahead and enjoy him. I know there are people out there. I personally hate his guts.
This is what I feel.
Yeah, pretty much is why we did that skit. But anyway,
so moving on. So then we have this queen who.
Played by Natalie Portman.
And
Keira Knightley.
Somehow, some point during the movie, I can't even tell.
I think it's supposed to
switched to
there's
Keira
like
Knightley.
These little cues that
That's whenever like the handmaidens are in the shot, then you know it's
because Natalie Portman's supposed to be the handmaid there, therefore Keira Knightley's the queen. We get R2 in this movie on the Naboo cruiser, I guess. You know, he fixes a part of the ship that gets shot. And the queen brings him up to thank him or whatever. Then, it's not the queen, by the way. This is when the handmaiden is standing in for the queen. The handmaiden tells the real queen, go clean R2 right now. Like,
no. The decoy tells the real queen.
No, the decoy, that's right. The decoy tells the real queen to go
I love
clean
that
R2.
thing. Go clean up R2. And I bet,
what the hell?
I bet she's like, oh, wow, thanks. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be getting you back later for that one.
You'll be cleaning plenty more R2s in your day. Also, it really doesn't make sense to not tell the Jedi because they drag her along on this, like, dangerous city. And why wouldn't they trust Qui-Gon?
Well, I think Qui-Gon knows.
No, he doesn't.
He's
openly talking to her,
hold on.
like saying, oh, the queen doesn't need to know.
I think he's saying, you don't need to know.
No, he's not.
Hold on. Because it's a shot later when it's revealed, he doesn't react. He's like, now, either you're going to say Liam Neeson saw... Well, he
nobody reacts in that scene. Not a single one of them has a facial reaction.
Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd does.
Yeah, because he has to fall in love with her, you know, so that's why he reacts. Nobody else cares.
I'm trying to give this movie something, man.
I think that he had no idea. That's why he's blatantly disobeying the Queen's rules. I mean, just get them rescuing the Queen, and then they...
Yeah, they're rescuing the Queen. There is a funny line from the droid. I love when the droid is sassy to Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon's
I swear the
trying
droid
to
is
take
sassy.
the Coruscant. Coruscant, that doesn't compute. You're under arrest.
You're under arrest. They get past the blockade. They get to Tatooine. So here's where the interesting stuff starts happening, I guess.
Oh, yes.
They're supposed to start happening.
Interesting stuff, yes. Where we meet Anakin, young Anakin, at age, 10, right?
Yeah, he's like 10.
Okay, played by Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd, he's probably, I'll admit, probably gotten too much hate. I feel a little bad for the actor himself. It's like, he was a kid, he was directed to do this, guys. Leave him alone. If you watch interviews now with him, it's so sad, actually.
He's not good in the movie, he's really bad, but he's dealing with lines like, "Are you an angel?"
What? An angel?
I hear the deep space pilots talk about.
We have made fun of that line many times.
What kind of dialogue is that, Lucas?
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
he's dealing with that, so I understand.
He's a kid actor having to say lines like that. Come on.
He's written terribly. Yeah, that's established. Okay, this is where I start really hating this film. They throw in this Messiah-like...
Why is Anakin Skywalker Jesus?
They really try to make him Jesus because they make him like
He's evil
conceived by the
Jesus.
midi-chlorians. Some people don't even know that. That's what Lucas was intending, guys.
He's
conceived by midi-chlorians. That's what he...
Much like Jesus was conceived by the Holy Spirit.
Midi-chlorians are the Force. That's what the midi-chlorians are. It makes finding Anakin a miracle instead of just this kid just happens to be really Force sensitive.
Right, why couldn't he have just been a kid that happened to be Force sensitive that the Jedi have recruited at a young age?
Why did Anakin need to be special? I mean, all that Obi-Wan said is he's the greatest fighter pilot in the galaxy, so make a kid who pod races, and that's what shows Qui-Gon that he's really good at pod racing. Why did it have to be more than that? Why did it have to be...
why do we even have to show Kid Anakin? Can we skip the 2? But get to that later, I guess,
I know, but you know, if you're going to show how you find him...
Sure. No, I understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, you know? You don't need this more heaped on top.
The character of Anakin has so many reasons it just doesn't work, and Tatooine itself... I mean, I get what he's trying to do.
Nostalgia! See, look,
That's
fan
exactly what he's
service.
trying to do. Fan service up the butt. Oh, later on we're going to get Yoda. We're going to get 3PO. Anakin created 3PO, apparently. We get to see his origin story.
Because everybody needs to be tied together
Why?
In the first movie.
Why?
Like, why couldn't we bring in one of the other characters later on? Why did we have to have them all at once? I didn't get that. It was like...
It's...
Why? Why is that? Can I talk about the pod race?
Go ahead.
I swear... First of all, I don't care about anyone in the race. I don't care about Anakin at this point because we just met him. He's kind of annoying. He doesn't exhibit anything that makes us like feel bad for him besides he's a slave. Apparently that's supposed to make us, I mean, he's a slave. Oh.
I think Jake Lloyd does well when he doesn't have to say lines. And he doesn't have to say lines there. So I believe he's flying a, admittedly, CGI pod.
Well, what I'm trying to say is I don't care about the character. So I don't care about the race. I mean, I really don't. I mean, if you sat me down and said, hey, do you want to watch Star Wars Episode 1, the pod race? Or do you want to watch NASCAR? I really wouldn't have a preference. Because, first of all, I don't understand how people like NASCAR. It's just driving around in circles. But it's really like the same thing for me. It's like watching NASCAR. It's like the most boring thing in the world that I don't care about.
Yeah, it's too long. I feel like, I mean, maybe I am just one of those people that enjoy it because something freaking happening finally. God. But at least I'm like, it's cool visually. Honestly, it's visually well done. I like the idea of pods.
I'm saying that about Lucas. I don't think he doesn't understands how to develop characters. I really don't. Like, he just lost that ability after A New Hope. And
it disappeared. It's weird.
He just doesn't get it anymore. Because he's trying to copy himself too much. Do you notice that? He's really trying to copy A New Hope.
That's true. I think he is.
And it's distracting. You know, it's like, yeah, homage is one thing. But blatant ripping off of your own movies is distracting and annoying. And it makes us think of how better the other one was, you know? Do something new. Do something different.
Well, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah, I know. I hate it when he says that. If you ever want to just like hurt your brain, watch the Phantom Menace behind the scenes. I've seen the documentary, like the whole thing, and he says some really dumb things in that. But yeah, so then We go to Coruscant, right?
Oh, yes, Coruscant. Finally.
And then we get space politics.
Again, why do we care? I mean, okay. There's a way you could do this. I'm not going to lie. Like, politics in movies, it doesn't have to be. We don't care about Naboo. Because we haven't.
It's
really
not Star Wars, though.
I'm going to point out a big reason why we don't care about Naboo. We never, ever, ever see what is going to happen to these people.
We never see suffering of them. We never see
did.
it.
This is a movie, Lucas. Show, don't tell. We want stuff shown to us. If I wanted to be told it, I'd read a dang book.
And then so the queen goes back to Naboo, right? And then she drags everybody back with her because they all have to go, right? Because it's the story.
Why does Anakin have to go?
I don't get it.
Why is he not just staying at the temple or something?
Yeah, why do they bring Jar Jar back? Like, oh yeah, well you can't forget him. We really need his help.
No, they do. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain it. They do drop a line saying Jar Jar, kind of saying we're gonna try and get the Gungans because we need an army.
And I'm sure the guy who's exiled is really gonna help with that. They persuade the Gungans because the queen reveals herself. Oh my God, I'm the real queen. Yeah, it's really a weird scene because the decoy is doing fine. Like she's actually doing a pretty good job, and then Padme's like, no, actually, I'm the queen, and what she said.
I guess he didn't want to lie to them and stuff. I guess, but
I guess she wanted to beg him, get on her knees and beg, and she thought the decoy wasn't
poorly done. It's poorly done.
Yeah, and then we get the end action crap.
Yeah, the 4 scenes that we didn't need. Okay.
4. Oh my God. Okay,
the lightsaber battle, that is awesome. That whole sequence.
It's alright. It's definitely the best of the 4 because at least it's interesting. At least there's some good choreography. That's the only thing is I
wish we cared about Qui-Gon because
we don't.
He dies at the end. I don't feel anything. I'm like, oh.
We're not really given any emotional investment into these characters.
Whereas
we just like Darth Maul because he's cool.
Whereas say Obi-Wan when he dies in the original Star Wars, you feel that. You're like, oh my gosh. We don't really get much from Obi-Wan. He stays on the ship when they go to Tatooine and just says dumb stuff. In fact, shouldn't he be the more reckless one, being the Padawan? Wouldn't that make more sense? But Qui-Gon's more reckless. I mean, we haven't really talked about Qui-Gon's, but he's a million stupid things in this movie. Should I bring up my theory about midi-chlorians?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a theory, because I know a lot of people hate midi-chlorians. That's I do too. But I have my own personal theory.
Well, we didn't bring up midi-chlorians yet, so
okay, let's establish midi-chlorians. Midi-chlorians are the stupidest things, because the Force always felt, and I agree with everyone over, the age of 20 or whatever, that the Force is meant to be a religion, some sort of Eastern philosophical religion that if you got good enough at it, you could be a Jedi just like Yoda.
Well, no, the Force is established to be a omnipresent thing that makes up the entire universe. Something that is more like a spiritual thing.
But no, apparently the only way you can use the Force is if you have a certain thing in your blood veins called midi-chlorians. That sucks for a few reasons. One, when you're a kid watching those original films, you feel like, oh man, I would love to be a Jedi too. You imagine yourself being a Jedi. You go get a plastic lightsaber.
Sorry, you can't.
With your friends. Oh, you can. Because you don't have midi-chlorians, kid. Ha! Screw you. Yeah, that's what Phantom Menace is. So I have a wonderful theory about this. My theory is that Qui-Gon, because he's the only one who starts bringing it up, right? He's actually schizophrenic. And here's how my theory goes. Okay. So, when he believes in his twisted, messed up mind that midi-chlorians are real. And if he does not continue to believe this, if he is shown the truth that midi-chlorians are all BS, he'll snap. He'll go join the dark side and do horrible, horrible things. So there's a conspiracy amongst the Jedi that all the council is in on, Obi-Wan's in on, to keep that hidden from him, and every time it comes up, be like, oh yes, midi-chlorians, yes, you're right, Qui-Gon, yep, no, what, you didn't, no, midi-chlorians are real, yep, it's okay, so, Obi-Wan's on the ship like, oh yes, he has more midi-chlorians than Yoda, yeah, totally, sure, and he probably senses something in Anakin from that far, sure, I'll go with that, but he's like, yeah, midi-chlorians, yep, you're right. It's all BS.
Definitely an interesting fan theory. Totally broken by episode 3.
I know, but dang it, I don't want to even count midi-chlorians in existence. And I know J.J. Abrams has said many times that he isn't, so...
No midi-chlorians in Force Awakens, thank God.
Yes. Anakin going into space, by the way, like Luke, is Well, not like Luke, but it's entirely stupid.
We need a space battle because it's Star Wars, right? Anakin accidentally blows up the droid ship.
Because he tries spinning. That's a good trick.
Yeah, it's so dumb. And yeah, he saves the day accidentally, and Qui-Gon dies, and then Obi-Wan avenges him by killing Darth Maul, which was such a huge mistake.
I want to say one more thing about the space battle, because let's compare it, because I know he was doing this. Compare it to the original Star Wars. When Luke went in to destroy the Death Star, one, that was on purpose, not an accident. Two, you were rooting for him because you care about this character. You're like, yes, Luke, destroy the Death Star, destroy the evil Empire, and all that. Kill Peter Cushing. But here, you don't care. You're more like, what the heck are you doing, kid? I know you can't really fly this well, but fly back in the hangar bay.
Darth Maul, yeah. So they killed their big bad villain way too early.
I love Darth Maul. He should have been the villain. He is cool. He has one line in this movie. It's so cool when he says it. Ourselves to the Jedi. Let's have our revenge. It's so freaking cool. Ray Park, he's a great actor in this.
Oh yeah, this scene. I love this scene with Obi-Wan and Yoda. Where Yoda's like, I just sense grave danger if Anakin is to be the Jedi.
Danger. Now.
And then Obi-Wan responds with like, but I promised Qui-Gon.
I promised.
And then Yoda's like, okay. Okay. Basically pulls a...
His compound into the fist all of a sudden. Okay.
And then totally agree with you, the council does. I'll be your apprentice, Skunk Skywalker.
I know he still says, I do not. I sense there's something terrible. I get it, but... what the hell? There's more to talk about Yoda in the next two movies, especially two.
He just talks in this one. He's like Mace Windu, they just sit and talk. That's all they do.
My thesis is the prequel trilogy could also be called The Journey of How Yoda Was Ruined.
Well.
In some ways.
In some ways.
More in two, especially. But
yeah. Now we went through the whole thing, so now I can bring up the thing I hate most about Phantom Menace. The prophecy.
Just because there's prophecies in so many of these admittedly stories that are Star Wars in a way.
I understand that he's basing his story off of the old Campbell works,
Right, that's what he said about the original.
But adding the prophecy completely
out of the blue
destroys
I think that's
Anakin's character arc, because we don't care anymore because it's almost like it's meant to be, you know what I mean? I understand I understand Lucas was like, oh, but we want to make it look like the prophecy failed and then it will eventually succeed. Are you telling me that in Return of the Jedi, that Vader did not change his mind out of the love of his son, but some ancient people that we never know about predicted that Vader would change his mind, and that's why he did it? Doesn't that completely destroy Vader's character arc change?
He was destined to change his mind. What?
Why would it be destiny? That totally ruins it. It should have been it could have easily been where Vader watches the Emperor kill his son. But because he has that good still in him, a piece of him is still good, he's able to rekindle that and save his son from getting killed.
Obi-Wan never mentioned this. Even in passing to Yoda, he has dialogue with Yoda when Luke's gone. You never hear him say, oh boy, maybe the prophecy could still be made, fulfilled if Luke manages to defeat Vader. No, nothing like that.
No, it seems like that Yoda and Obi-Wan want him to kill Darth Vader.
They do.
They don't. They're not saying, oh, the prophecy could still work. That's not it at all, And it's not something you needed, because it makes Anakin not look like, oh, look, he's just a character in a very large universe. Mm-hmm. No, it's like, oh, it's the Jesus story of this galaxy.
Why does Anakin need to be super special? He doesn't. He's a Jedi. Yes, Obi-Wan talks to him about him saying he was the best pilot in the galaxy, but that doesn't equal greatest Jedi who will fix the Force.
Making him a general in the Clone Wars would have been interesting enough,
By the way, bringing balance to the Force, doesn't that means he would have to become a Sith, because the Force is balanced in the favor of the Jedi? There's only two Sith.
They're balanced.
How does that make sense?
They say destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force.
Okay.
That's what they do say in the line.
All right.
Apparently, according to the Jedi, balance means all good, I guess. The idea of the Sith is so interesting, and it's just so like ruined, you know? Because I understand Star Wars is a good versus evil story, I get it. But we should at least see, oh, this is why they do what they do. You know, this is the motivation.
Why does Star Wars need to be Jesus? Why? He doesn't. It makes no sense. In fact, it's a little weird because Jesus never became evil and then was turned back to good by his son.
Yeah, it's
so
really weird.
That makes no sense.
It's a dumb thing that he wanted to make the Skywalker family this really special family. The thing is, it's hard to talk about this movie because everything's been said, you know.
Red Letter Media has a 90-minute review on this movie.
I would definitely refer people to that. I would refer people to, you know, many other YouTube videos that have been done on this movie. You know, all we can do is just say the same things that have been said.
Yeah.
This is the total wrong direction for Star Wars, and I think it was an unfortunate occurrence because people didn't think anything Star Wars could be bad, and that's why a lot of people loved this movie.
Oh my gosh. Like, this ruined people's fandoms. I've read up on it. Like, some people, like, walked away from Star Wars because of these movies. They were like, I'm done, never touching this stuff again. They had action figures, so, like, they were uber nerd fans, and they sold their stuff. I will say, can we bring this up real quick? This happens a lot with, like, big franchises like this. When people like to say the phrase, raped my childhood, I think that's a little strong. I mean,
I understand that it's upsetting to see something you love go such a bad, wrong way. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you can always just not watch them again. Just put them away.
Go back to the originals.
Go back to the originals.
Pretend like those other movies.
Because I will tell you this. When I watched A New Hope 2 days ago, it did not mar my enjoyment of that movie. The movie is so good. For anyone who says, oh, The Phantom Menace ruined A New Hope, I disagree with you. I'm sorry. I don't think it does. I think the movie is so good on its own. I can forget about midichlorians. I can forget about Jar Jar. I can forget about the prophecy and enjoy the movie as it is. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts are, this is, for me, the worst Star Wars movie that we've got so far. And I haven't seen the Clone Wars anime movie, but I guess I wouldn't even count that. I'm talking about, like, the 6 live-action ones.
If Clone Wars counts, it's the worst.
I guess, if I were to give a rating, I would give this 1.5 out of 5. What about you?
Yeah, 1.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Just because of John Williams, Ben Burtt.
John Williams, yeah.
And
the lightsaber battle, I like it. You know, there are small segments that are Star Wars ads.
I don't really like much in this movie at all, except for a couple, like, the spectacle shots. And this is, I'll get into in the episode 3 review, but I'll mention it now. George Lucas, one thing he can do, he can create that little sense of awe.
Yeah, he can.
And there are a few shots in The Phantom Menace that do that for me.
Okay. So that's our thoughts on episode 1. And stay tuned for our thoughts on the other 6 videos leading up to The Force Awakens. And I'm so happy for that one.
Well, yeah, including The Force Awakens.
Well, of course. We'll do a discuss video on that.
Yeah.
No, don't even have to repeat that.
No,
who the hell cares about Force Awakens?
It's just coincidence we're talking about Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
there's a new Star Wars movie?
Me and Sean have to go see Alvin and the Chipmunks 4.
Oh, no, that's the movie I'm looking forward to. Dude. I'm looking forward to seeing all the Alvin and Chipmunks movies.
Oh, I should name drop this, though. Stay tuned, because me and Sean have something special planned for Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes, we do. Oh, my God. I hate you. You're a horrible human being. You'll see.
It's going to be the greatest day of our lives.
I might shoot myself after.
Hey,
okay, not really, but
we will have just seen Star Wars, so.
Okay, to be fair.
At least think about that.
That's true.
All right, thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for 5 more of these and then Force Awakens. So.
Yeah. All right.
See you in the next video.